And now for the legs, we're going to use this file here, and we're only going to use one leg. We're going to use this leg here because it's pointing in the right direction for us. Now, I think the best thing to do is try to start with the quick selection tool. But before we do that, I want to zoom in. I just want to see the leg here. I don't want the foot. I'm going to use a different foot. So I'm going to draw a zoom around just this part here and see if that gets me in close enough. Now with the quick selection tool, we can just start with the ankle here and then start selecting up the leg here. I want all this stuff right here because I'm going to use this in my image. So let's try to get as much of this stuff as we can here. And then we want to try to get a little closer here from what the shadow was not able to get here. So again, hold down the Alt key or Option on the Mac and see if we can get a little closer in here. I think the main thing here is trying to get a smooth selection. And so far we're doing pretty good. If you need to zoom in more, the more you zoom in, the easier it is to get or find the edge. So I don't want too big a chunk sticking out here. That's kind of the thing I'm trying to avoid here. This is a nice little bump here that I want to try to avoid. So this is pretty smooth, and I just want the line really smooth. If it's dark there, it's okay. It's not as bad. And you can see this part here is a little jagged here, so I'm going to try to get rid of a little bit of that. And I might have to use a smaller brush, might have to zoom in, or it looks like it's doing okay here. It looks like I got most of it there. So that looks really good. That looks really good. Let's go ahead and refine, see what it looks like when we've got it refined. And it looks like we're going to have to do a little work on this one. It's a little jagged here, so let's start with the radius, again around 9, and smooth it out around 60 or so. That seems to be doing okay. This is the only part here I don't really like. It's, I don't know, up here maybe not. Let's try to shift the edge a little bit, see what that does. Oh, good. That worked really nice. Around 30 or so maybe. Maybe it was a bit much. I don't know. I think it worked good. Like around 30 or so, but you play with it and see what you come up with. Okay, maybe with a little contrast you can make the edge a little sharper up here, which it did nicely. And it's kind of smooth here now. I think it looks really good. Click OK. Copy and paste. And let's make sure that we're under the torso here. And this one is going to be which leg? Let's see here. This is going to be the left leg. So let's transform that. And then move it up here. Oh, this one has to be on top. Okay, for this particular one, we're going to put this on top of the torso. So I'm going to click the transform and then move it to the top, and then we're going to title it left leg. Now I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to call the other one the right leg. Okay, so we've got left and right there. Now let's move the right one over, use the move tool. And how are we going to make it so it looks like it's on the right side? Well, yes, we're going to transform it, and what? Yes, flip horizontal. Perfect. That is it. And we're going to probably have to play with these a little more. But before we do that, we're kind of running out of room down here. And we're not going to have room for the feet. So let's get this in place. Now, if you want to move layers together, we can move the whole thing that we've done so far by selecting all the layers. We're going to select all the layers. First we're going to start with the one on top. We're going to click on it. Then we're going to hold down the Shift key and then click the one on the bottom, the right arm. We're going to leave the background there. We can't move it anyway. And then we can just use our arrow keys, use our up arrow, make sure we have the move tool selected, the V. hit V or select the move tool, and then just move it up until we got it so we have enough room for the feet. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now let's get back to what we were doing before and let's work with the legs. So we're going to have to make these legs a little bit thinner. They're a little too wide right now. They fit pretty good up here, but we're going to have to pull them in a little bit there. So the right leg looks like it's overlapping here. Let's start with that one. And this is the one time where I'm not going to maintain the aspect ratio. I'm just going to pull in from the side here and thin it up a little bit. And it'll still look fine. I don't want to do too much because I got to do the same thing with the other one. So I'm going to select the left leg now. We'll bring that in some. And if we want to really get it exact, perfectly proportional, if you look up on top here, or if we look right here, you can see what the width is. And we have the width in inches right now because our rulers are in inches. And if we want to change that easily, we can just bring the rulers up, which is Control or Command R. And here's the rulers here, and you can see our units are in inches. If we right click on the ruler, we can change those to pixels. Now, before we change the units of measure here, we're going to have to commit the changes. Then we can right click and select pixels. So now, if we go back here and transform the leg again, we can see here that it's going to show us the units in pixels. So it looks like this is 449, 443. We'll click OK there, and if we want to get the other one exactly the same, $444. Looks like it's going to be the closest we're going to get. So now those are pretty much exactly the same width. Okay, you can move those around, get them exactly where you want them there. I might move this one down a little bit here, and probably this one too. And that looks pretty good. So that's it for the legs, and now we're going to work on the feet. And the file we're going to use for the feet is, actually we're going to use two files. We're going to use this one here, and we're going to use this one here. I know, gross, huh? So let's open this one up here, and we can just try right off the bat again with the, sorry, wrong tool, with the quick selection tool, quick select, and drag it around the foot here and see if that works for us. I'm going to zoom in here and see if I can make better selection here. Maybe make the brush a little smaller. I think with this tool a lot of it is just getting the brush the right size and getting the edge, kind of like with the magnetic tool, just so the tool knows where the edge is to follow it. And sometimes you just got to help it a bit. Say, okay, here's the edge here, so you follow that edge. And then I think it does a pretty decent job from there. And if you make a mistake, undo. That's what I did, Control Z or Command Z. And it looks like there's just a tiny bit here that I missed. It smooths out pretty well by itself. And I think that's it. There's my foot. Oh, I missed a little bit over here. Again, zooming in helps so much. It helps enormously for you to be able to see stuff that you missed. And that was part of it there. Undo that. So I got it there. And let's go ahead and refine the edge again. Again, it's kind of rough, a little. Oh, I kept a little bit here. Let's see if I can get rid of that with erase refinement. Refine it. See if that'll get rid of it. Yep. It's the opposite, I know. You would think that it would add to it, but it doesn't. It subtracts from it. Okay, so we're going to do the radius again. around 9. Smooth about 60. And again, you see that those settings seem to work very well for every one of these that we've done. It's nice and smooth here. We can shift the edge a little bit. That'll probably help here as well. Ooh, that's probably too much. That might be better there. And it looks really good. I am satisfied with that. I'm going to click OK. Copy and paste. And then we have to decide if we want this to be under the leg or over the leg. And then I think we're going to have to transform this a little bit as well to make it fit properly. Before I do that, I'm going to zoom in and let's transform and try to get the proportions right. So either way, it does not matter. If you want it on top or underneath, it's totally up to you. Let's go ahead and let's put it on top. What the heck? Okay, so once I got it to match up on top here, which has taken me a little bit of work here to do, then I'm going to probably have to erase what's around here. And like I did, I think with the neck, so I'll put it there. What I'm going to have to do is, okay, I went ahead and accepted that. What I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to select the pixels in this layer here. So I'm going to hold down the control key or command on the Mac, and then I'm going to select that particular layer, the right leg layer. Now I'm going to invert the selection. So select inverse, and then I can erase around here. So I can get the eraser and I can erase what I don't want around there. Okay, it protects this and then it erases the shape that's around there. And I can deselect, and that's pretty good. Okay, there's one foot. Now let's look at the next foot. Okay, here's the next foot. And again, I think the quick selection tool will do just fine in this case. Get the brush the right size and select away. Looks like we're going to have to do some refining again. This toe is pretty gross, huh? Or this whole foot, I mean. I can zoom in, really get in tight here. Smaller brush. Forgot to hold down the control key. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Copy and paste. And then transform away. I think we have it in the right place. Yeah, it's on top. Control T. We'll get it the right size here. That should probably do it. Oh, I probably had to turn it a little bit more. Couldn't see very well there. Okay, let's zoom in and transform this a little bit more. There we go. I think that almost is there. tiny bit more. That should all do it. Let's zoom out again. And I think we got it there. Looks good. And that's the feet. The next thing we're going to do is put on the finishing touches.